Today on the channel, we're going to work on my communication skills with G.I. Joe retro card, Tele-Viper.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another G.I. Joe retro card unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got an army builder, we got a Tele-Viper, but for all your Tele-Viper needs and a whole lot more, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Got to get a deal over there, and they should have this in stock very, very soon. So the Tele-Viper, you know what they say, Todd McFarlane from the couch, of course, my co-host, unseen co-host. He's never camera ready. But you know what they say, Todd McFarlane? Tell a friend, tell a Viper. That's what they do say, because those Vipers, they're going to communicate it all out to everybody. And this isn't our first go-around with the Tele-Viper, as we do know. We've had a couple of different incarnations. Of course, the most famous one, probably part of the Trouble Bubble, I would say. But of course, this one is a classic early Viper in the early Viper days. And sometimes in my brain, some of those Vipers, I feel like there's only one of them. And the Tele-Viper, I always kind of go that way. Obviously, there's more of those. The classic Tele-Viper is what we have here today, and that's kind of the key of the retro line. And of course, the key to these videos, the roadmap of these videos is we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. Stiff carding, of course, a far cry from the original releases when they were Walmart exclusives, that's for sure. Classic Tele-Viper image over there. As classic as it can be with AI these days here. And I believe originally, didn't they have like 6 fingers on this guy? And I think they must have edited that out. But I remember there was a lot of fuss. All the fuss. Tell a friend, tell a Viper. We know how it goes. But there was a lot of fuss about the artwork. Got to say, this one's not as bad as that god-awful Flint artwork. Of course, my boy Flint getting done extra dirty. I don't understand. I'm sure Duke was involved. Duke's revenge. Oh, you'll get yours, Duke. You'll get yours. You always do. Cobra, the enemy. G.I. Joe. Figure in the package right there. On the back, got the cross-sell. Of course, unboxing all of them. We already got Flint on the channel. Check out that Flint unboxing. Of course, the true leader of G.I. Joe, as we do know. Then we got Cover Girl and the Tele-Viper in this wave. Got the old school file card. I really think the Classified series needs the file card as well, but it is what it is. Roll. Cobra Communications, I believe, hosts a DJ radio show in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. Primary specialty, communications. Secondary specialty, electronics. They also get a lot of the Tele-Vipers do come from the Best Buy Geek Squad, is what I have been told. Somebody fact check that, Todd. That's why you're here. Birthplace, various countries. Never been there. I'd like to visit, though. These are the RTO, Radio Telecommunication Operators of the Cobra Ground Forces. Their modular radio pack allows for frequency hopping, encryption, and passive jamming and anti-jamming. Of course, they are Vipers. There are multiples of them. But in the cartoon, it always felt like there was just one Tele-Viper. You had the same voice. Maybe that's just me once again. But looking pretty good. Looking like we're going to Tele-Viper right here is what we're going to do. And we're going to get it out of the packaging. And we're going to be off to the old Tele-Viper races here. Slide that blade right off to the side. And we're going to be ready to go with a little communications action here. There we go. Packaging looking nice. See you later. Goodbye. Of course, Cobra stand. I preach it all the time. Why don't they offer these stands in like 10 packs on Hasbro Pulse? I'll never know. I'll never know. But there it is. Look at that. Skinny plastic prison right there for the old Tele-Viper. And this is an army builder, and I'm not opposed to buying more of these ones, especially since we got 3 heads for this guy. It almost feels like I need 2 more in my collection. But you got to be a little choosy on those things. You got to wait. You know, this is a perfect one to wait for the holidays. Maybe there'll be a sale. Maybe there'll be a deal somewhere. See you later. Goodbye. Maybe Target will have a clearance. Who knows what could happen. Gonna have to wait, be a little patient to get multiples of these in the collection. But if you're all in on the Tele-Vipers, you might be jumping into it right away. Who knows? Choose your own adventure, as we always say. But let's dive into the accessories here. We do got another piping, hosing here. I always say it on the channel. When I was a kid, these went right into my accessory bin. I had a little box full of accessories that would go whoop right in there right away because I hated these things, playing with them, stuff. They'd always get in the way. They'd always uncork and fall out. But it is nice attention to detail. You got the black ends, you got the silver hose in the middle. and it does plug into the weapon just like the olden days right there at the end. You got this sonic jamming weapon. I don't know. You could, when you're playing with these things as a kid, this wasn't a communication weapon. This was like a bazooka, a blaster. You should have missile out of here because everybody was fighting when I was a kid. There wasn't a lot of communicating going on. It was a lot of battles. It was a lot of fist to fist and gun to gun and knife to knife battles with my Joe team, of course. Other end does plug into the backpack right here like so. Very easy, makes sense, just old school style. Of course, all black on the weapon on this one. Then you get the telecommunications backpack here. He's got the little readout. You can poke some numbers in there or get a friend to type on his backpack like a mainframe dial tone would back in the day probably as well. All in black outside of the silver buttons on this one. Got the antenna on the top. Looking good, is on brand for this character. But now we're diving into the Tele-Viper himself right here. And we got 3 heads, better than 1, of course. Head out of the package, he's mean mugging. He's got a little bit of that Elvis lip curl going on, showing that beautiful dental plan there. Does got the helmet over the top, got the visor. None of that is removable. Looks like a Tele-Viper. I see that. I know who that is. Second head, it says, what the question mark? Of course, very famous. Was it G.I. Joe Classified movie when Pythona was making her assault on Cobra? I think he had that going on there. But it does say, what the, right across the top. Always thought that was cool readout. Looks like same head there. It's the exact same thing, just a little bit of a readout on the visor. So I do appreciate the extra details, but I would have liked a different mouth or something a little bit different. It's basically the same head twice, is what it is. And the third head, once again, same head again. Talk about getting the most out of your molds here. Same head on all these. This one says alert, and I have to think most people maybe would use the alert one. I don't know, but I think there's a little bit of laziness right there. I don't know if we needed 3 identical heads with just different readouts. A little different face would have been good. Would have went a long way right there, but is what it is, I guess we'll say. But now diving into the Tele-Viper right here. He does got his vest over the top, looking good. You got the hole in the back for the backpack, of course. No storage or anything on him, but he should be able to carry everything except for his extra heads. I guess you could lug the extra heads around if you wanted to. Use them as bowling balls, maybe. You got the Cobra logo on the shoulder on on the left arm, I guess. Got the Cobra belt there, which I think you get after 10 years of service as a Tele-Viper. Somebody fact check that as well, but he's got the Cobra belt going on. Got the vest over the top there in a nice purple color, and got the blue, I guess, worker bee outfit over the top. It goes all the way down from the shirt down into the pants, and then you got the purple boots on him down here. 2 trigger hands right out of the package, ready to go. No extra hands or anything with him either. Arms all the way around for us, bicep cut. Double jointed, pinless elbows. Those are the hits I like, of course. Hands back, forth, side to side. Head back, forth, side to side, up, down. Removable. You got the ab crunch in there. A little loose on this guy here. And you got the waist articulation. Big old Tele-Viper splits if you need them. Of course, drop down hips. Legs go up. Thigh cut. Double jointed, pinless knees. Feels like the articulation is a lot smoother on these too, on these retros in this latest wave. Flint included, of course. Boot cut, ankles back, forth, side to side, up and down. Looking really good. It is the usual articulation we do get with the G.I. Joe Classified style figures. And of course, he comes with his own stand, so we don't need to do the ringside stand test, but you know he will fit on that ringside stand if you need him to. But there it is, the Tele-Viper. I don't know. It's always weird with Tele-Viper. I think, what is the most popular Viper? I think it's the OG original Viper. Then after that, it might be the Alley Viper possibly, but the Tele-Viper's got to be in the mix there. He was probably in the most episodes of any, well, maybe the Cobra Viper. I don't know. He was in a lot of episodes, as we do know. So he is one of the more iconic ones. So it feels like he needs to be in this retro line, but I personally can think of a lot more characters I would have liked to seen in the retro line ahead of the Tele-Viper. But at the end of the day, I am happy we got it. Still a little bit disappointed in the head sculpts here. The same head 3 times. Has he got triplets? Are they twin brothers? Is it Daryl, Daryl, and Daryl? Is it something like that? Todd got that joke. I don't know what's going on there, but that is a little bit disappointing. So in the grand scheme of things for the G.I. Joe Classified and Retro, not going to be at the top of my list as absolute favorites here, but I do got the former version here. I guess the first version that came with the Trouble Bubble. Got to get the most out of that head sculpt. Got that same head sculpt once again. Same vest going on. A lot of similarities with this one here. Obviously, paint changes is the biggest one. The belt is different. Colors of the vest. He does got a forearm guard over on this Trouble Bubble one where we got no sleeves on the bottom half of this one here. But very, very similar. Getting the most out of your molds. It is the toy business after all. And it is the Tele-Viper. But what are your guys' thoughts? Is Tele-Viper for you? Do you need this in your collection? Let me know your thoughts on the Tele-Viper. And will you buy multiples of these? And let me know what head you're going to use. What head you're going to use on this one. I'm leaning towards alert as of right now. You guys tell me which one you would use in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to both of my YouTube channels. 2 channels with content each and every single day. I appreciate all the support out there. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is my podcast each and every Tuesday. The Kyle Peterson Show. My wife, Angie, and I break it all down wherever audio podcasts are found with video casts on YouTube. And don't forget the Patreon and YouTube channel memberships if you want more content and you want to support the channel. So for the Tele-Viper, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we going to dance or are we going to play?